Hello there. Plenty to talk about in Europe at the moment, mostly about the temperatures, but there's also some stormy weather. Storm Karim affecting Portugal and Spain, and this moisture will just continue to bring a relentless feed of heavy rain through the weekend, and it may well bring some localised flooding as well. So you can see that quite clearly. Now, ahead of that, we've got some very warm air coming out of Africa that's producing way above average temperatures. Good deal of sunshine as well to come. Now, across the east, we're picking up a few scattered showers, but not really amounting to too much across the Greek Isles. It's all about the warmth, really. Saharan dust could be an issue as well across central and southern areas of France as we go through the weekend. More wet weather, though, moving its way slowly through Spain. Heavy rain will be quite persistent. Good deal of sunshine extending up into the Low Countries and that warmth into Scandinavia. But by contrast, the far north of Scandinavia and into Eastern Europe is still bitterly, bitterly cold. So that's going to be the theme as we go through the next few days. That frontal system weakening but producing some showers into southern France by Monday. Let's take a look at the city forecast then. So we keep those above average temperatures quite clearly over the next few days. Look at Paris, absolutely glorious. By contrast, in Moscow, it's going to stay bitterly cold over the next few days, and there will be further snow showers to come. Hello there. Two areas of interest in Africa at the moment. We've got a cyclone that's been forming off the coast of Mozambique, actually strengthening but moving away from landfall. But it will bring some rough seas and potential for some heavy rain in this area. And at the same time, there's a storm that's moving its way across parts of Spain and Portugal, and that's bringing some lifted dust out of the Sahara, and that's going to be an issue over the next day or so as well. So that's the story then as we go into Sunday. If we take a look at what to expect in terms of the city forecast over the next few days, well, there's a good deal of dry weather into Cape Town. We keep those showers into Johannesburg though as well. Now, further north of that, it does look likely that we will continue to see those showers easing in Casablanca from that storm I pointed out, and the winds will ease as well. Now, let's take a look at what's happening across the Middle East at the moment. Largely fine and quiet. A few scattered showers perhaps threatening towards the Levant. A few scattered showers at higher ground of northern Iraq. And a few isolated ones moving through Saudi. But generally speaking, it's a fine, settled story with a good deal of sunshine and some pleasant warmth to be had as well. So I don't suspect there's going to be any significant change in our city forecast over the next 5 days. It's a dry, settled story with the risk of a few showers continuing to move their way out of Iraq towards Kuwait. Hello there. Weather story across South Asia at this time of year tends to be a quiet one to tell, but there are a few areas of interest. And you can see from the satellite picture there is an area of cloud across the east, and we could see a few sharp showers as we go through the day today. And so if we take a look at the forecast in a little more detail, you can see areas like Tamil Nadu, southern Andhra Pradesh could see some sharper showers as well, and we could see a few sharp showers into Sri Lanka. Further north of that, fog has been an issue just recently. We're not expecting it to be too much of a problem as we go through the weekend. And in actual fact, further north of that, it's all about the cold across Kazakhstan, as you can see, with those temperatures really struggling in Nur Sultan. And actually, they will get colder still over the next few days. A few sharp showers to the south, nothing really extensive here. Then back into Pakistan, northern India, fine and settled. Those sharper showers I was talking about across Tamil Nadu and southern Andhra Pradesh as well. In terms of the feel of the weather, though, still 28 degrees in Chennai, and it's an improving story over the next few days. So let's take a look at the city forecast in a little more detail. And you can see a good deal of dry, fine weather. We keep the risk of showers into Sri Lanka, but that cold will be the talking point, I suspect, across Kazakhstan over the next few days. Just how it look, what happens by Thursday and Friday. Hello there. The weather in North America has been making the headlines this week, hasn't it, with that bitterly cold air as far south as the Gulf Coast. But things are quietening down over the next few days. There's the recent frontal system that brought the freezing rain easing away, and a large area of high pressure is set to build. Now that's going to gradually drag in southerly air and those temperatures are set to climb as we go through the weekend. There is a front out through the Pacific Northwest, but that will bring some snow on the leading edge into parts of Canada and maybe across the northern Rockies, but it's rain on the coast. Now let's take a look at the temperature profiles, because it's all been about the temperatures just recently. Still the cold air sitting across Canada and the northern Rockies, but the yellow orangey tones is the warmer air, and we can see the russets returning across parts of California. Here temperatures are likely to be into the mid-20s over the next couple of days. That's the mid-70s as we get into Monday. Let's take a look at the temperature profile though across the eastern seaboard, where we've still had that bitterly cold air, and it's still sitting there for the time being at least, and that extends even really into Atlanta, Georgia, where the yellows mean that the temperatures are still disappointing for this time of year, just into the warm russets as we get down into Miami. But the good news is that it is an improving weather story, and those temperatures in Dallas, Texas, that's been so badly affected, back up into the mid-teens by Monday. Hello there. Let's take a look at the weather forecast for South America. Nothing particularly unusual with the weather story at the moment. As you can see from the satellite picture, some pretty intense shower cloud over the Amazon basin and some heavier showers perhaps across central and southern areas of Brazil. It's all about the warmth over the next few days, actually across northern Chile, Argentina, as well as those temperatures climbing above the average. So looking at further north in a little more detail, as you can see, some sharper showers across Venezuela, into Colombia, over into western Brazil. Some of these could produce a lot of heavy rain in a short space of time, so always an issue for some flash flooding here, and that extends perhaps as far south as Rio de Janeiro. Fine and sunny across into Argentina and, as I say, into northern Chile. A bit wet and windy weather down to the southern tip as well. So this is the story for the next few days. Then it looks as though the weather will stay on the warm side for Buenos Aires as we go throughout the week. Now moving over to Mexico, pretty windy across that north coast of Mexico. A few scattered showers here, a few sharp showers into Central America, but it's a largely fine, quiet story for many. The same applies across the Caribbean. Any showers will be fairly isolated, fleeting, and they will ease away to lengthy spells of sunshine. So city forecasts look quite promising, as you can see quite clearly. A lot of blue sky and sunshine to look out for. Take care. Hello there. Storm Dujian is heading towards the Philippines, and once it gets there, it's not really in a rush to ease away, and that's because the wind speeds are relatively low, mean speeds around 40-45 mile an hour, and so that means it's very slow moving, and that means it's going to be a rainmaker, and it may well lead to some localized flooding. To the north of that, it's all about the warmth over the next couple of days across China. With above average temperatures here, the same too for Japan, although an area of low pressure will bring a lowering of temperatures here over the next few days. Now further south of that is a good slice of dry, fine weather as well. That extends into Vietnam, down into Malaysia. There will be some sharper showers, but the emphasis of the heavy rain is all across the Philippines. Now look at the temperatures in Beijing, going from 22 degrees to 4 degrees on Tuesday. I'm sure that's going to be a bit of a shock to the system. Over to Australia now. We've got some heavy rains across the Northern Territories. Now it is their wet season, but even by their standards, that rain is pretty extreme. Now further south of that, we've got some heat building once again. A few sharp showers across the east coast as well. Over to New Zealand, largely fine and quiet for Sunday, although there is an area of low pressure which will bring some rain as we go through the week. So let's take a look at the city forecast in a little more detail. As you can see, largely fine and dry for many of our major cities, the heat building in Perth.